right, come on in, Congressman Jake Auchincloss. He is the Democrat from the state of Massachusetts, a member of the China Select Committee. He co-sponsored the bill that President Biden signed into law that forces ByteDance, that's the parent company, to either sell TikTok within 9 months or be banned within the United States after a year's time. Congressman, thanks for being back here on the Hill. Appreciate the time. So you, sir, are as big of an advocate that was pushing for this bill. And now not only is the head of your party using it to try to win an election, the head of the other party is using it to try to win an election. Should both sides be off it as you see it?
Both sides are going to use every legal means available to reach voters. As Mick said, that's politics. Doesn't change the fact that TikTok is a national security concern. It is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, which wants to see Trump in the White House because he degrades our own democracy and undermines the rules-based order that they're trying to upend. And so I'm deeply concerned that 170 million Americans are going to be getting at least some, if not most, of their information from a platform controlled by our biggest adversary that has an active stake in the most important election of our lifetime.
So what about those numbers? Do you believe they're genuine? Do you believe they're authentic?
I don't know, and to be candid, I don't much care. I mean, Trump is a reality TV star. He's more sizzle than steak. He was always going to be a hit on TikTok. I don't think that's surprising. I'm focused on Haley voters in the heartland and on Democrats' ability to reach those voters who are the true swing constituency in this election with a law and order message. The Republican Party is not the party of law and order. They're trying to surge guns in our classrooms. They're voting against border security legislation. They're trying to defund the FBI. And, oh yeah, they're nominating a convicted felon to be president of the United States. These Haley voters are reachable by Democrats if we campaign on, govern on, win their trust on the issue of law and order.
So should the Biden campaign be using, should they be using TikTok to go after Haley voters? I hear you that that's your message. If they can do it that way, you said legal means, yes, it is legal. Should they be using it to go after Haley voters if that's the big, if that's the big push?
I'm not going to give them granular advice about media and format. They've got a whole team of strategists that are doing that. The overarching message here is Republicans have ceded the issue of law and order. Democrats have a story to tell about us being the party that upholds the rules-based international order, about us being a party that cares about public safety, about us being the party that controls and supports, I should say, the constitutional order. And we need to drive that message home to that admittedly small but critical swing constituency in the swing states.
Yep. I know the China threat, Congressman, is a big issue for you. There was a story that popped in the Wall Street Journal earlier today, and here's what it says. It says, quote, China is pre-positioning for future cyber attacks, and the new NSA chief is worried. He says, quote, in the article, we could see no other use, meaning of Volt Typhoon, which is the cybersecurity apparatus, it's believed, that China uses. What is the big worry with China as you see it? Is it this? Something else?
It's multifaceted. So it's this, they're pre-positioning their ability to wage cyber attacks, not even against sensitive information or against military assets, but against civilian infrastructure like water and power. Now, the good news is that the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is doing really good work over a bipartisan series of administrations and Congresses to make us a harder target. But I would say that the two biggest things we need China to do right now is, number one, stop exporting fentanyl precursors to the United States. They are subsidizing and facilitating the export of fentanyl to the west coast of America and Mexico, where it's being trafficked into America. It's state-sponsored poisoning of the United States. And the second thing is they've got to stop exporting dual-use technology to Russia to allow them to wage their brutal war against Ukraine. Those are the two big near-term diplomatic achievements we need vis-a-vis China right now.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.